We interrupt your broadcast for a very important announcement. Hey, everybody, it's me, Ray, by the way. Sorry to interrupt this very important, amazing, revolutionary content created in the form of a podcast, but did you know I also stream on Twitch? Yeah, I know. How could I possibly have the time to do a podcast, stream, and be handsome? Trust me, it isn't easy. But don't be afraid to come and see how I do it at twitch.tv/Ray Jr. Kid. I repeat, twitch.tv/Ray Jr. Kid. Come check it out. Please. I'm lonely. Started. All right, Jabari, let's hear your thoughts on Jrue, man. What you got?
Man, I always liked him ever since I first saw him. He's like always annoying and physically tough. He's got like a high IQ with the game, and he can like actually make other players have a mental breakdown. It seems to me,
Yeah,
like almost like a Rodman point. Yeah, almost like a Rodman point guard. So I respect him.
I say that's more
even though
Marcus Smart
might not
than
like
Jrue
him sometimes, he seems like very. Yeah, well, at least I'm talking about maybe over the past couple of years, right? And then who was he messing with real bad? Didn't he get into it real good with Chris Paul last year or a year or two ago?
Jrue?
Yeah, I felt like he locked down on Chris Paul in one of the series a year.
Oh, you talking about in the finals? Okay, yeah, I thought you meant like a scuffle. I'm about to say that could be any player.
Yeah, they don't fight. Yeah. They ain't fought in the NBA since Shaq, 1999.
I don't know. Jrue and Rondo was throwing them things, man.
Oh yeah, Rondo did go.
Rondo did. CP,
we talking about Rondo.
CP and Rondo was throwing them things.
Did he spit on him or something?
He did.
Something crazy. Yeah,
that's wild. Yeah, no, I gotta go ahead and. Hey, if you spit on me, bro, we gotta meet on the court, in the tunnel, in the parking lot, and at your house. It gotta, every time.
That's the largest.
I just think he's mentally tough, and I just like how he antagonizes other players. So I love that about him. That's a skill. I want him on my team if I had to choose.
Yeah, no doubt. What about you, Chance? What you think about Jrue, man?
Hey man, proof is in the pudding, They had Chris Middleton and everything, they couldn't get over that hump. Mm-hmm. As soon as they got this guy, hey, they're champions. So
that's a good point.
He does make a difference, He can lock down any kind of, 2 or 1. And you got Giannis. So I mean, like I said, with that particular team, that guy, he does play a vital role. All right. I think Chris Middleton, he's important, but you see that defense wins championships.
It does. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let me switch it up on you then, Chance. Let me switch the question up on you. Did you hear my my point system or my star system for NBA players?
I think that's when I had my technical difficulties.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Repeat them.
Yeah. Before you share it. Okay. So I think a 5-star player is a superstar. I think a 4-star player is a star. A 3-star player is an all-star. A 2-star player is an NBA starter, and a 1-star player is a bench player. So where would you rank Jrue Holiday, and where would you rank Chris Middleton on that scale?
Okay, let me ask a question before I answer that.
Sure.
How many superstars are there in the NBA then?
Might be able to count them, maybe 7.
You got to come back to that.
Yeah, you got to come back.
All right, so now I'm gonna answer that question. Do I think that neither one of those guys are superstars in my book? I think they're all stars.
Mm-hmm. So you think they're both all stars, Jrue and Chris?
Yes.
Okay, so like I was telling Ryan and Jabari, I think Jrue is more of a 2.5 to maybe a 3-star player. And I think Chris is absolutely a 3-star player and might be able to get a little higher. Not quite 4, but to 3.5, I could theoretically see it. So for me, that puts Chris on a higher scale than Jrue. What do you think?
I think that when you look at point guards and you look at who all can do what he does, I think that you have to put him in the upper tier because just look at what he can do. You know, look what he brings to a team. He might not be the most popular pick, but like Jabari said, I want that guy on my team.
Yeah. I saw you making some faces, Ryan. What you?
I really believe that. But let's just say, for the sake of the Pistons, right? Because I'm a Pistons. I've always been a Pistons fan.
Yeah,
I would take Jrue Holiday.
I feel your pain.
Over Chris Middleton to be on the Pistons any day.
You would take.
I can see that.
Not right now because we got Caden, but like let's just say we didn't have a 1 or a 2 that was any good, right?
Okay.
Or 1 or does Middleton play a 3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I would take Jrue Holiday over Chris Middleton to build the team around.
Okay, are you and Jabari saying that because Jrue bringing a certain culture that we need, or because y'all hate Killian Hayes?
I hate Killian Hayes. I really do think he's what's the right word? I think he's a more important player. If him and Chris Middleton are on the same team, I think Jrue is the more important player. That's just my opinion. I think they're close.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather have Jrue. I don't know. I'm just a big Jrue Holiday fan, I guess. He plays at both ends. He can get his own shot. He can get hot from 3.
Yeah.
He's not shooting well right now.
At all.
But
yeah. Wait, Chance didn't, for everybody in the back who didn't hear the stats, Chance wasn't here. So maybe you could reread them so that maybe, so you can understand where I'm coming from a little bit more.
Drew's averaging 21 points a game in this series. He's shooting 35% from the field, 4% from 3.
Terrible. So the worst shit you ever heard.
And only 6 assists, so it's not like he's making up for it with assists. But
he has those unseen stats, those things that you can't count that he brings to the court. Intangibles. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
So y'all don't think. Everything y'all said, I think Chris Middleton does the exact same, and I think he does it a little better and taller. He does it taller.
No,
I think that's the point right there. You just made the point. He's a bit taller because when's the last time you had a superstar point guard that's Jrue's size? You know that you don't have superstars at his size really, so it's kind of unfair.
Steph Curry.
I got to disagree, man.
John Wall.
Middleton get you buckets.
He does get you buckets. Middleton gets buckets. And he defends.
How many championships Chris Paul got?
Okay, let's not do that. Okay.
Secondly,
this is my last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna shut up.
This is my last thing I'm gonna say. He also has the coolest spelled name, Jrue. Come on.
That is cool. That's cool as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Jrue is.
So he's a man on that.
But okay, first, okay.
You said Jrue.
Okay, before with this Chris Paul thing, man, let me just say this: was Blake Griffin Giannis?
I think you're great.
Was James Harden Giannis? We just saw what James Harden is. Was David West Giannis when he was in the Hornets? Come on, man. Yeah, David West. Come on, man. What you want? Come on. He had DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin. We have Blake Griffin on the Pistons. What do? Get swept every year by Giannis.
We only picked up Griffin to sell tickets. No other reason. We got rid of Tobias Harris, who was a scorer.
He played his ass off and then came back like a damn new man when he got the.
He didn't care about the Pistons.
Yeah.
I think he cared. I think he cared.
He cared about the paycheck.
His ass
he did care about the paycheck. Yeah, you got to get paid. Earlier, Ryan, you brought up coaching, man. I think coaching is very, as we talked about last pod, I think coaching is extremely important, especially when it comes to the playoffs. We just saw Coach of the Year get named. But I think Ime Udoka, the coach for the Celtics, I think he had a real good case for being Coach of the Year. I mean, the first half of the year was pretty terrible. But that second half, when they came back, they had like that super long run. They started smashing on teams. They was blowing out playoff teams by like 20, 30 points. After the new year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think? Who do you think is the best coach in this series right now?
That's still of the coaches that are still left.
Yeah,
I'm a big Monty Williams fan. I like the way that the Suns play.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got Booker, I think Booker could average 30.
Yeah.
easily, but they
Easy.
play team basketball
Yeah.
and they play good defense. Typically, I mean, there's some games where it's just not good.
Yeah.
They take good shots, and I think a lot of that has to do with Monty. And if you listen to, you know, how they
And
play
Chris.
some of the, I mean, yeah, Chris is a veteran, and
yeah,
he leads that team. But if you listen to Monty Williams during some of the timeouts, the stuff he says is, it's like it makes me want to go and
yeah,
you know, play for him. So I'm sure that he gets the guys to play hard for each other and for him. So
hey, this might sound wild to all of my friends in the hood, but Monty Williams be my dad at any time. I'll be honest. I would not mind living in a Monty Williams household. That dude seems like the ultimate leader, 100%.
Yes, yeah.
Just a super cool, chill dude.
Yep.
I know Jabari and Chance have been able to follow the playoffs like we have, so I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think would be one of the better coaches? We got Steve Kerr, Ime Udoka, who is with the Celtics, who just swept the Nets and fighting Giannis and the Bucks. We got Jason Kidd, who I think is a terrible coach, and we got who's the I think he's a terrible coach, and we got one more who was
Is it like Ballhauser or something like that? Mike Budenholzer, whatever his name is.
Coach Bud for the for the Bucks.
And Doc was there in there too, but you know, Philly's
they
gone because Doc's trash coach.
They took who do y'all think, man? Who do y'all think is the best coach out of those names we just laid out? I mean, if you need more information, I could probably give you some. Yeah.
Like the best coach, like who has the best coaching like ability, or who like is going to win?
I think it goes hand in hand for the most part, but let's just say, who do you think provides the best boost to their team when it comes to coaching? More or less.
I like Monty Williams. I like Monty Williams.
I would say whoever makes the least mistakes, you know.
But don't sleep on Spoelstra neither, man.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Spo. About Spo.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say now.
I'm thinking about the teams that's still playing. The Heat finished their business up quick. So.
Yeah, they sit back. They sitting back chilling.
Yeah, they relaxing. Yeah.
But don't sleep on Spoelstra.
I would have said Spoelstra, but seems like he's not in there.
He isn't.
He is.
He
all right, well then I'll go with Spoelstra then, because I always liked him. I always liked him.
Yeah, Spoelstra to me, he looked like he shouldn't be a good coach, but he really is. Maybe I'm tripping, but every time I see him, I agree.
I agree.
Yeah,
he doesn't have that look.
He really don't.
You gotta look at what he did. You know, even in the bubble.
Yeah, so, no doubt. Yeah,
and that was with nothing. You know, he didn't have a super team then. He showed you that he could just build a team around defense, around Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
and bam.
So, yeah, and they got a real good overachieving team that will get beaten in the conference finals.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
but
I look at Spo and I think
look like he played ball, but
I don't know. I think they might beat the Celtics if the Celtics win. I don't think they beat the Bucks.
I don't think so either. But that's a good point. They might just beat the Celtics. Yeah. But speaking on that, let's talk about Philly and Miami for a second, man. Let's talk about, since we like talking about train wrecks and shit and people underachieving and being terrible. James Harden. Me and Ryan spoke about him last podcast, right? And I don't want to toot my own horn or our horn, but we were completely and utterly right. Y'all wasn't here last time, so you guys have a little more empirical evidence to go on now when I asked this question that me and Ryan did when we predicted the future. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think James Harden is washed or not?
I wouldn't say that he's washed. I don't think that he's capable of being that scorer that he was. But I still would take him on my team as a solid point guard to distribute the ball and give me, a solid, 15, 20 points per game. But as a role player, not as my league superstar.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Jabari?
It's my bad. I didn't I missed the question.
Yeah, all right.
I
So
was
the
working
question,
with I had technical difficulties. Yeah.
it's all good, man. The question was after everything you heard and seen, do you think James Harden is washed, or do you think he still got what it takes?
Got what it takes to get a championship?
Well, I guess we got to define got what it takes. Just tell an NBA team. does he got what it takes? He can play on
You know what?
chance
Yeah,
team.
dude, he's got it, man. He's got it. I think it's a mental thing, because he's got all the weaponry and he's been had it, and people still can't stop him if he wants. Doesn't want to be stopped, really. And you see, dog. He's got that physical game, so you can't really, it's a mental thing. He just gotta it's a mental thing. Because it comes down to his probably shot selection and
Trash shot selection.
Yeah. Okay. So I know for a fact Ryan has the stats pulled up right now, right? So I'm gonna leave the stats
go ahead,
to Ryan.
Ryan.
I'm
So
gonna leave the stats. No.
Series.
But give me one second, Ryan, before you go.
Yeah.
I want to say this real quick. I'm gonna leave the stats to you, and I'm gonna say what I think, right? And I'm not a psychologist. All right. I said the same thing about Luka. I don't think James Harden has what it takes up here. I really don't. Mentally, I don't think he got it. I don't think he cares. I think he cares about getting money and looking good doing it. I think he cares. I think he wants to say, I got 30, so what you looking at me for? I don't see a drive in him to get better, to eat right, to be healthy. I think I'm in better shape than James Harden. And I do work out, but I'm not a professional athlete.
Is he Hall of Fame? Is he a Hall of Famer?
100%.
Even if he don't get the ring.
100% is
He's
a Hall of Famer. But I think that's
all right. Well, I mean,
but that's not all it is. I think that was done. That wasn't done as a team player. That was done as I'm gonna get mine so I can get mine in the club. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if he has the heart to play.
With that being said, I'm gonna actually. I mean, like I said, I still believe that he can play a role, but I want to agree with you on that. And I said I could put him on my team, but after listening to what you just said, yeah. I think he does need just like a nice kick in the ass.
100%. He about to get it too.
Something has to bring him down, humble him a little bit, and
I don't think anything can.
And just figure it out, because if he doesn't, he'll never win a ring. Because just like Carmelo at first, like when he was first told that he had to come off the bench, he had that.
Hey,
he was still on that high horse.
It's an go off the bench. Like, yeah.
So now
the end of the bench.
He embraced that role. He didn't get a title with the Lakers, but like I said, I just think he just need to realize what he can do for a team in order to win, because he can get paid on a losing team.
Hey,
you know what that is, man? That's the same situation that every person, everybody runs into, right?
He might end up on.
I'm making real
that's
short.
That's the way he end up on the Pistons.
Oh hell, don't do that. Ryan been waiting patiently. Come on, yeah. What? Nowhere near the Pistons. Not even Chicago.
That's something I think what you're describing for Harden and Anthony is something that's true for everybody. Every man and woman out here.
You're your own worst enemy. So it's like he's the only thing that can really stop Harden. You see what I'm saying? So
I guess so.
Anthony was the only thing that could stop Anthony, and so on and so on. Yeah.
Or Giannis coming in and just swatting him with drives.
Yeah, killing
him. Giannis.
Let's let Ryan have his say on James. Let's let Ryan have his say.
When we talked last, I wasn't sure. After watching the series against Miami, I truly believe James Harden will never win an NBA championship unless he takes a huge pay cut and is a bench player on a team.
Wow.
He's not consistent enough. He doesn't care enough. There was multiple times where there was two defenders back, him and someone else.
Yeah.
The first guy got beat and he just watches them.
That's it.
He doesn't even try.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, right? He's athletic and he just doesn't.
Yeah.
So let me just read some of these stats, right? Game 1 against the Heat, he shot. He had 16 points. Trash. Without Joel Embiid, you got to score at least 25. Sorry.
Yeah.
He shot 5 for 13, right? 2 for 7 from 3, 28% from 3. Okay, game 2, he had 20 points, shot 6 for 15, 1 for 5 from 3.
This is all with Embiid not being there.
Yes. Yeah. Game 3, 4 for 11, 1 for 7 from 3. He shot terrible.
Terrible.
The only game he was good was game 4.
Yeah, and even then he didn't shoot well.
And he didn't shoot well, but it seemed like he cared.
Yeah.
Watching the game, he seemed like he wanted to win. He had the drive, he had the motivation. And then game 5 and 6.
Interesting.
Game 6, he didn't shoot much, right? He shot okay, 44%, 42% from 3. But
here's the problem with game 6. James Harden took 2 shots in the second half.
Yeah, he didn't care.
2 shots. James Harden, the point guard on the team. They got rid of Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons wouldn't shoot. So what are we doing? He might as well have to play. I think.
Does coaching take some responsibility for that?
That's what I was going. That's where I was going next. So last pod, we also talked about Doc Rivers. There's a lot of blast in the past come here. So I said I think Doc is good, not great. And I still believe that. I still believe he's a good, not great coach. I think he getting a whole lot of burn off that 2008 championship from 2008, like 15 years ago. He getting a whole lot of run off that.
Yeah.
And
man, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. And I think that part of me wants to say that James would rather have D'Antoni, so he kind of like sabotage Doc Rivers a little bit. Because when James wants to play, I think he can still be good. He was terrible. I think he can be good. So
yeah,
they recently came out and said they're keeping Doc Rivers for the next year. I don't know if that's a mistake or not. What do you think, Chance? You think that's a mistake to keep Doc after what we just saw?
I mean, Doc, he's earned his stripes. He does get a lot of love from that old championship, but yeah, I think that he needs another year. Give him a whole season with that roster. Probably another pickup, maybe. Yeah, I don't think because, like you said, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, man. They didn't have a full year. A lot of drama, a lot of stuff going around in the background with the Ben Simmons thing, and then you're trying to hurry up and rush something great in a small amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give them a whole year. You know, after that, then we should be able to make a solid decision on whether Doc Rivers is, because he has all the players, he has the team, he has the backing of the GM. So let's just see what happens. But I think that he had he had to deal with a lot of different circumstances in order to. But to get the ring, man, everything has to be on one accord. So
100%. He had to put time. I think that's a really good point I hadn't considered, Ryan. What do you think? What do you think about what Chance said?
I think he's right about that. I think, like, I don't know. I haven't, just from watching that series, I have such a bad taste in my mouth for like how Harden plays, and that's all I can see for his future. So if somehow he can change his attitude, and maybe even you don't make him the primary ball handler, right? Maybe you let Tyrese Maxey be the primary ball handler because he plays with more energy.
That's a big down step, but
I know.
For James,
more energy.
Yeah,
I know, but like I liked how Maxey played throughout the year. I think he got better as the year went on, especially in the playoffs.
He's really good.
So
all-star potential.
Yes, I agree. But do I think they keep Doc another year? And I think what matters most is James Harden's attitude, his aggressiveness, and his willingness to defend. Because you don't win games not defending.
So I don't want to counter your point, but you said take James Harden off the ball. Did you hear what his excuse was in the press conference?
No.
He said the reason I took 2 shots was because the ball didn't get back to me.
So
the point guard said that the ball didn't get to him.
Okay.
If he feels like that, right? Put him in a shooting guard position and let him just catch and shoot, or let him run some offense if there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Give it to him, ISO him, and let him try and score. Right? There's a lot of different options to make sure that doesn't happen again. So I don't know.
Jabari.
Yes, give Doc Rivers, the benefit of the doubt, because he, even though he won that championship years ago, he still had good teams throughout his time. He's respected. Yeah, and all the drama. I give him his respect. And
like you said earlier with
James
Chris
Harden.
Paul, what did he win?
No, I didn't mean like that because Chris Paul is still up there. You know what I
meant
mean?
it. You meant it
No,
like
but we
that.
were talking about superstars.
I'm here to defend
And
Chris Paul.
Jrue
like
has
all
a
fronts.
ring.
Oh
And
God.
The point guard.
Jrue has a ring. Jrue has a ring.
Okay, but not as Jrue Holiday, the face of the team.
No. but there's no James Harden, man. I agree with everything you guys said about James Harden. You know, it's just a mental thing, and yeah, and Doc. And I don't know if I understand how you feel. He left a bad taste in your mouth with a performance like that, you know. But the good thing about it being a mental issue with the game is that just as quick as it, you know, on set, it can change.
Mhm.
So that shit can, you know, one little thing can happen in his life, and the whole game, you know what I mean? His whole shit changed. Excuse my French. And then you'll come back beasting on you like, oh shit, you know what I mean? People do that. So yeah, I can see him doing it. He's got the capability, and you know, he's James Harden. I mean, yeah, he's a bad dude. So yeah.
Well, okay. Well, just now we spoke a lot about coaching and a lot about James Harden. And I think one of the biggest mistakes Doc made was not making adjustments, just like he did with the Clippers, not making enough adjustments in time. So how about we do it? Let's sit right. Let's take a second. And each one of us give one different adjustment to James Harden that we think would improve his game for next season. So I'm gonna go to Chance first. What do you think, Chance? What would you do if you were the coach? What would you want to see, or if you were James? One adjustment.
Bring him up. I'll bring him off the bench with a green light to get buckets.
Okay, let me change the question. One realistic.
No, I'm saying I would really, because Ryan made a point. If he wants to be the scorer and he wants all the attention, let the team function normally. And when he comes in, like Jamal Crawford used to be, like Tyler Hero, like those guys, hey, green light.
James Harden, Jamal Crawford. I never
Mike Miller.
I'm saying at this point of
Mike Miller.
at this point of his career, I'm not saying James Harden. We got to go through a whole new change because that's not the same player, bro. We just had this conversation. So you asked me what to do moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually, hey man, you're gonna have to do this, do that. Maybe at some point he'll work his way back into the starting rotation, but take a step back. And when you get into the game, hey, you got the green light. It's all on you.
Yeah, I don't see that conversation going civil at all, or ever, or I don't think they would ever do James Harden.
Not for the money he's making. Yeah. I said, that's what I would do. Though.
That's what. Yeah. No doubt. I can respect that. I could see it. I can respect that. What about you, Ryan? What would you do if you were the coach of your James Harden?
I would take him off the ball as the primary ball handler. I would put him as a 2. I would still say, you know, attack the basket, shoot the ball, you know, play your game. But I feel like when he is the point guard, when he's the primary ball handler, he doesn't take good shots. At least as of late, he didn't. And it worked. I mean, when he was at Houston, he didn't always take good shots, but he was playing at his peak, right? So he was a scorer, and I don't think he's that same player anymore. So he has to adjust his game. I think that could be, you know, making him a 2, making him a spot up shooter, telling him, okay, you get it late in the shot clock, we're gonna ISO you, and you attack the basket.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get a charger. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, Jabari. What would you do? Let me hear it, and then I'll go after you.
I like what everybody said, you know, because I would think that would be obvious because he's such a presence that, you know, I'm just looking to get the ball up the court. We take the ball out. As soon as he gets open, he's got the green light. You know what I mean? He's gonna light it up. So I'm feeding him all day. So I would never really want him to be the primary ball handler because it's taking up too much of his energy. You know what I'm saying? And secondly, I wouldn't do a damn thing, man. He's James Harden. Okay? I ain't doing nothing.
I ain't doing nothing.
Well, I mean, now are we talking about, you know, age? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing.
I think we're talking about age and weight and health. And
I'm talking about James Harden. I'm talking about without age as a factor. I'm talking then in between and even up to now.
Well, we can't talk about what he used to be.
He could make. Well, the
But-
adjustment he could make at any time. He could have made it then to get to that championship team, make his team champions. Man, he's always had it, and I wouldn't do nothing, man, because I would just make sure that the rest of my team is ready for warp speed when he's ready.
Well, listen, next
That's
year,
what I'm focused on as a coach.
next year,
Because
when we
he
do
might just click it and it's gone.
click it. Next year when we do a basketball draft or a fantasy league, let's just make sure that Jabari is
I
in,
get James
so
Harden.
we can all get a quick win because Jabari gonna have the worst team. All right, but before I give my adjustment, I want to say something in opposition to what Chance said. Chance said you said that James wants to be a primary shooter and scorer on a team, right? Everything that just happened in this series, and even before that, when he got to the 76ers, kind of says different to me. It says he either doesn't want to or can't. The main problem with James this year was aggressiveness and taking shots. He took 2 shots in the closeout game in the second half. He took 11 shots total in like 2 games. When Joel Embiid wasn't there, so it was him and all due respect to Tobias Harris, we got the same last name, but I don't know if I should claim him or not because he's terrible. But it was James and Tyrese Maxey pretty much as the scorers, and James was not there. So I'm not sure if that's what it should be. I think here's my adjustment. I think James Harden at this stage of his career knows he doesn't have the step that he needs, especially at his current weight and I guess conditioning. What I would do is I would put him in a lot more pick and rolls as opposed to isolations. That way he'll be able to come downhill a lot easier against players who aren't prepared for that. He can get better switches on the bigs where he can still, do his step back travel. his Euro step travel.
Euro step travel, reverse Euro.
And his free throw nonsense. I think that would be a lot better for him. He can get his shot off easier. Joel Embiid would have an easier time operating the pick and rolls. That's what I would do. Turn him loose that way, so he could be more of a playmaker with more of a spread floor. Put him in a pick and roll at the top of the key. Let him see the whole floor. Make his passes or score, whatever he got to do. That's what I think. That's the way to maximize his potential at this stage of his career. I don't know if it's much, but that's all they got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to say one thing, bro. I agree with you on that, but like I said, man, he's a defensive liability.
I agree
as well. I just feel like at this point of his career, hindsight of everybody said what they said. If you brought in another decent point guard, or I agree with put him at the 2, but like I said, he's still a liability and he's not consistent. So you can offset that, bringing him off the bench and just try to get a spark, But I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. But he's not going to come up.
I think he has attitude issues. So you tell him he's coming off the bench and
he might not show up. Yeah, he might not even.
Oh, my back! I can't. I gotta.
My hamstring.
I hate that.
Making my beard hurt.
Literally. Yeah. I can't come to work because the air in my apartment on fire.
Yeah.
So I can't. All right, man. So let's talk about James Harden's direct competition, Jimmy Butler. Right. Is Jimmy Butler a superstar? I'm gonna just say it. Is he a superstar? Ryan?
No.
You got a chance.
Superstar.
A superstar. 5-star player. Or I can even take it down.
No,
Is he a 4-star player?
Yes. 4-star, 100%.
100%?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna do my thing, right?
There you go.
He's averaging in that series, averaged 27.5. Shot 51% from the floor. And 32% from 3, which for Jimmy Butler is not bad. Right?
That's pretty. That's
he averaged 1.5 threes on 4.5 shots per game.
Bad.
Right, and Jimmy's not known as a 3-point shooter. He also averaged 7.5 boards and 5.5 assists. So he's doing everything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a superstar. I wouldn't say he's a 5-star player, but I would say he's a 4-star player, and he's playing like it. And without him, the Heat are not where they are.
What does Jimmy need to do to become a 5-star player, in your opinion?
exactly what I was thinking. Like, so why is he not a 5-star player?
Up and scoring.
I think he needs to win a championship.
Aw,
Come on
That will
now.
put him at a 5-star.
100%. If he won a championship, especially with the team he has, which I don't think is going to happen,
Let me
I
ask you
think
this:
it would prove that he is a 5-star player.
Was Giannis a 5-star before he won a championship?
Yeah, but he had already won MVP.
That's a good point.
it was.
Yeah, I don't
I think
Jimmy
winning an MVP or winning a championship automatically puts you as a
automatic.
5-star
Yeah,
player.
that's a good point. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that. What about you, Chance? Do you think Jimmy's a superstar? Well, you already gave us your answer, so I'm
Yeah.
just.
I think he's a superstar. I don't know if he can be a superstar. I mean, I think he's a star. I don't think he's a superstar. I don't think he could get to being a superstar because he doesn't have that. He's a team player. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Sometimes a superstar, you could be a team player, but you have to know when it's time. All right, everybody get out the way.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think on probably a bad team, he could be like a superstar and put up a lot of points. But being in that setting, it fits, you know. So
Well, I
don't need him to be a superstar. I need him to be Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying?
We saw him on a bad team. Your beloved Chicago Bulls.
He was a superstar. He was a superstar then too.
Because he was on all the commercials and all that. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, you gonna be on the commercials if you're the only player on the team.
yeah, I'm saying,
Yeah, I still see
Kane is on the commercials in Detroit. Kane is not a superstar.
I still see his ass.
Hey,
I see Jimmy Butler.
Kane,
Like, what the fuck? Selling Bud Light. But
so you think he's a superstar then?
I'm confused about the definition because
championships and superstars. There might be some superstars without championships, and
There are.
Right.
but then I'm hearing that you got to have a championship to be a superstar. So I don't know.
Or an MVP.
MVP.
or
Scoring
MVP.
title.
Or be in the race. Top 3 in the MVP race.
Yeah.
And not be
he's up
DeMar DeRozan.
I would say he is a. Okay, so what you said, Jen said he's not a superstar because he's like not, like he's too much of a team player or something to that effect.
Yeah,
So,
something like that.
So there are teams that have championships, but they don't have superstars, and they're not superstars. But I would rather have the champions. That's all I'm saying. So he could be a superstar. I'll give him a superstar. I'm sure he'd rather have a championship than be a superstar.
Wait, hold on a second, guys.